you, everyone. The Senate and House Judiciary Conference Committee will come to order, and I think the first order of business is to hear from the House, their response to the Senate offer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just, I guess, initially, we're still pretty strong in our original position. Leadership is, as you know, offered many of the amendments that you're not comfortable with, but they're still quite comfortable with them and believe they have strong backing in the House, and so our position's really strong. And so I don't have a formal counter yet. I have been talking through some options with some of the stakeholders. Are there some things that we could maybe do to make it more appealing to you? My understanding is you've got some concern with the word restraint that's used in that new section, the interference of conduct of a hospital. And I've talked to law enforcement about maybe we could get rid of the word restraint, which, you know, could be, it's a pretty broad word, and I get your concern there. Maybe we could change that to criminal restraint, which is already defined elsewhere. Or maybe it's not according to the right. Maybe we could do something to narrow that a little bit, but we don't have a counter there. Just something to think about. We can certainly work with the reviser to see if we could come up with something there. In regards to your new section 1 that deals with the COVID vaccination status for getting medical care, in talking with others, I think we can maybe come up with some language there that hospitals and medical providers are okay with and allow them to do what they need to do, but also there are some areas that there may be an issue. For example, the organ transplant program where local providers don't really have much discretion there. It's, do we want to be a hospital that has organ transplant or not? And if so, we may have to require vaccination. So that's something we've been trying to work through. I'm not really comfortable adding it to this bill, though. And I've talked to leadership on my side, and I tend to have more discussions when we're done here today with our health chair. You guys sent over several bills late last week that deal with these types of issues, and the health committee, I think, has 2 or 3 of them, including, well, we have 541 here, and it has some of those same pieces. And so we intend to have a discussion about what are some things that we could agree to that would likely end up in a health bill, not a judiciary bill. You just, on that one, have to take us at our word, or we leave a shell open or something so we could come back to it at some point in time if that doesn't happen. But I certainly want to promise that we would work towards that and try to come up with something that go in health. And so at this point in time, I don't really have a counter. I guess we are rejecting your offer. I'd like a little bit more time to visit with the reviser about how we might be able to change that first section of interference with the conduct of a hospital that I think you've got some concern with, and is there a way we could make that better? But for the rest of it, our position remains the same, that the House position is the one we're supporting.
Thank you for that. And just to be clear, it's not one individual's position presented from this side of the table, it's the Senate's position.
I just meant your being you all.
You all, okay, the Senate. Well, thank you. And after we met yesterday, I did go back and review some of the testimony regarding new section 1, which is the interference with the conduct of a hospital. So learned more about that since it had not had a hearing in the Senate and was not a Senate position. So certainly willing to entertain, since the House, or excuse me, since the Senate doesn't have any position on it, what you're proposing, or the House, what the House is proposing regarding criminal restraint, which would probably be in section 1A2 of the bill, and adding that. We don't have it in writing yet, so I'm just kind of being conceptual here. That would be something the Senate would consider. And again, we don't have anything in writing. Don't know if it would fit in another bill, another shell regarding new section 1A proposed by the Senate, which is based solely on a person's COVID-19 vaccination status. It's not the intent of the Senate to interfere with the ability of hospitals to perform transplants. I have done a little bit of research and talking on how that would work if we were to put new section 1 in a bill. And then regarding, I think the last piece was current law on new section 5. Current law is what had passed the House and the Senate, quite frankly. Current law is that provided some immunity from civil liability for acts, omissions, healthcare decisions, or the rendering of or the failure to render healthcare services, including services that are altered, delayed, or withheld as a direct response to the COVID-19 public health emergency. So that's current law, agreed upon by the House and the Senate, and then the House took a new position on the House floor, which is in new Section 5. So it looks to me like House and Senate leadership need to confer further on that, on which position is going to be the position, I guess, of the legislature. The House position has been what is current law, and the Senate position has been what is already current law. So it's the House is taking a new position on Section 5, but I trust that House and Senate leadership are conferring about this and what the position of the legislature, at least for the next 10 months till January 20th of 2023, as proposed in new Section 5 would be. So I suppose we have heard conceptually the offer from the House, but we don't have it in writing yet.
So if you would give us a little time, we could get with the reviser to see if there's some changes we could make in the interference with the conduct of a hospital in regards to the restraint language, if there's something that they can help us with there. And then we could get you that separate language that deals with your new Section 1 that we've been visiting with the hospitals about. Again, I don't know that we're comfortable putting it in 286, but I think we're willing to share that language and figure out where that could fit later, whether it's in something in our conference committee or something, again, with health, where it might fit better. We can get you that language separate. So maybe come back with two balloons, one that specifically deals with what our offer is going to be on this, and the other what that language would look like if it was here or somewhere else.
Right, so we need to wait till that's in writing, and then do we need to, I'll ask the revisers, do we need to recess to let you do that, or can we take a look at some other things that are in Judiciary Conference Committee?
Madam Chair, I believe you called this one just on 286, so at this point you should probably not go into the other ones.
I think I made an announcement on the floor at 10 o'clock that we would be talking about all bills in conference, but if that's where we are, that's fine, and perhaps we can adjourn to let you address that. I think that's the first order of business. So, and then we need new charts, please, we had a couple of other put into conference today on the floor. So with that, then it would probably be best time used to have a written proposal of the House's counteroffer. So with that, then we will set our next meeting for, what does it look like from the revisers? Or
I don't know that we need very long. You guys have 1 o'clock with corrections, I think, so maybe we could just meet right before that, like 10 minutes before, and at least we can then give you the offer. You could do corrections, and we could come back when corrections is done, depending on how long.
So when we adjourn here, let's adjourn until 12:45. We'll come back at 12:45.
Yeah, that works.
That makes sense
Yep.
for everybody? Okay, 12:45 then. Okay, then we are adjourned until 12:45.